Hello friends, my name is Ryan, and today I'm going to tell you a story named The Harold Shipman Murders, the doctor who became Britain's most prolific serial killer. This is a truly chilling story, full of twists, secrets, and unexpected turns. As I tell you this tale, keep your minds open and your hearts racing, because what you think you know about trust, safety, and even life itself will soon be shattered. So, let's begin. It all started in the quiet town of Hyde, England, where people lived their lives with peace and routine, never suspecting the darkness that lingered in their midst. Dr. Harold Shipman, a respected general practitioner, was trusted by his patients. He was the kind of doctor everyone wanted, kind, compassionate, and always there when you needed him. Or so they thought. Shipman had his practice in a small, modest building, with patients who came and went, each one convinced that they were in the hands of someone who cared. Little did they know, there was something deeply sinister behind his comforting smile. Harold Shipman wasn't the man he appeared to be. He wasn't a healer, he wasn't a doctor, he was a killer. For years, Shipman operated under the radar, blending seamlessly into his community. No one suspected him of being anything other than the gentle doctor who made house calls, who took care of the elderly, and who was seen as a pillar of the community. But it was this very trust that he used to his advantage. Shipman's first victims were the elderly, the weak, those who seemed to be near the end of their lives already. At first, his death seemed natural, ordinary even. But as the numbers began to grow, the questions started to arise. His patients were dying in suspiciously high numbers. Most of them passed away alone, in their homes, with no one to witness their final moments. And that was exactly how Shipman liked it. He knew how to manipulate the system. He had a way of forging medical records, making it appear as though his patients died from natural causes, from old age, from illness, from things that no one would ever question. But the truth was far darker. As Shipman's death toll rose, whispers began to circulate. People started to notice patterns. One woman, a widow named Maureen, was suspicious when her mother, who had been in perfect health just days before, suddenly died in Shipman's care. She asked questions, raised concerns, but she was dismissed. Shipman's reputation was untouchable. No one questioned the doctor. But then, something changed. The authorities began to take notice. A few diligent individuals, including a pathologist, started looking deeper into the unusual deaths. They found a chilling connection between the patients who had died in Shipman's care. All of them had been prescribed large doses of diamorphine, an opiate. The pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place. This wasn't just a series of natural deaths. This was murder, pure and simple. But how could this trusted, respected doctor, someone who had worked for years in his practice, be behind it all? The investigation into Shipman's activities grew intense. What was once thought to be a few isolated deaths turned out to be much, much worse. The full extent of his crimes began to emerge, and it was nothing short of horrifying. As authorities dug deeper, they uncovered a shocking truth: Shipman had been murdering his patients for years. In total, it was discovered that he had killed over 200 people, making him one of the most prolific serial killers in British history. And yet, despite the years of killings, he had never been caught until now. But why? Why had Shipman done it? Was it power? Was it the thrill of knowing that he could take a life and escape without consequence? The truth, in the end, was never fully understood. But one thing was clear: Shipman had manipulated the system, and for years, no one had been wise enough to see through his facade. The trial was a spectacle. It shocked the nation to its core. The once trusted doctor was now seen as a monster, a man whose cold, calculating nature had claimed the lives of countless innocent people. As the court proceedings unfolded, it became clear just how deeply Shipman had lied, how many lives he had destroyed. When the verdict came down, Harold Shipman was sentenced to life in prison. But his story didn't end there. His arrest and conviction sent shockwaves through the medical community, causing deep reflections on the trust that patients place in their doctors, and the need for stricter oversight in the healthcare system. For many, the case was a reminder of how even the most trusted individuals can hide darkness beneath the surface. As the years passed, Shipman's name became synonymous with betrayal and horror. His victims, once just names on a list, became faces in the minds of those who remembered them. And in the end, the story of Harold Shipman was a stark warning to us all, to never take our trust for granted, and to always question, even when it's the hardest thing to do. Now, friends, as you sit with the weight of this story, I ask you to think, can we ever truly trust the ones who hold our lives in their hands? The shadows of Shipman's actions still loom over us, a haunting reminder of the darkness that can hide in the most unexpected places. And so, if you want to hear more stories like this, if you want to delve deeper into the mysteries that continue to captivate and chill, I invite you to subscribe to our channel. There's always something more waiting to be uncovered, and together, we'll keep searching for the truth. Stay with us, because the story never ends. This is the suspense-filled tale, packed with twists, as you asked for. It's a chilling reminder of how deeply dark secrets can remain hidden only to surface in the most shocking of ways.